So in the last video, we went over how to get ourselves out of the strong side Ashi Grammy. What I want to go over now is talking about the weak side. Same rules apply where we're trying to protect our foot by putting on the boot or putting weight into the leg to deny meaningful lever control. And then how do we start stripping the control of our hips so that we can be mobile? So strong side was here, where now if I tried to base and withdraw this leg, I can't. The weak side of Standard Ashi is when we get turned to this side. The reason why it's weak is because now my base, and with my leg being free, it allows me to start to generate base to drive into my opponent. And it also is harder for him to control the hip because he's not pinning this side to the mat anymore. So I'm just going to switch the angle here. So when you're attacking this submission, try to never be flat on your back, because being flat on your back still allows me to turn my hip and knee and chest this direction to look to build up. Even with this foot on my hip as a frame, I'm still going to be able to, if Kevin tries to curl down into me, it's his one leg now against my body. I'm always going to be able to hip up like this. With that, I can do it just by itself if there's going to be a skill gap or a size difference. But I recommend still looking at taking the foot and pushing it off. We can use the elbow here up against the big toe joint to shed it in this case, to be blocking with my forearm, pushing it outwards. We can also grab the toes and push it outwards. Be careful of getting blamed for trying to purposely cause a reap on yourself and get your opponent DQ'd. So we're not trying to push it this way, but if it's heel hook defense, this is absolutely going to still apply. The problem with being flat on the back here is me being able to build up. If we turn further to here, he's got the foot on the hip. If it's IBJJF, this is actually illegal. He's not allowed to attack the ankle lock from here because of the pressure that they claim it's putting on the side of my knee. Complete bullshit. But be mindful of that. However, we're not training to beat people within specific rule sets or abuse these rule sets. However, like there have been places that I train, and to be fair, guys are world champions at this stuff, so they know how to play the game. But I'll put them in an ankle lock and they'll just turn their leg like this to shut it down. This sets you up for heel hooks, but it's something to be aware of. So as I start getting turned this way, what I'm going to look to do is start trying to get this foot off of my hip, keeping my arm in proper base so I can mobilize my hips, and I'm going to start performing a technical stand-up. My goal is to start immediately driving weight into my foot so that it becomes load-bearing so that he can't deal with it, and I'm going to be passing an Ashi grounding position from standing rather than dealing with a leg lock itself. So whether I've controlled, blocked this foot, peeled it off, this is my favorite grip. Thumb right around the big toe joint, fingers on the other side here, so I'm controlling the sole of his foot to build up and start putting weight into my opponent. Now I'm just going to be passing single leg X, whether I'm able to drive over this way or start looking to redirect my opponent over with a hip smash. If I can put my foot from this position into this position where my knee is now framed over top of my ankle with my body weight supporting it, there's no longer any kind of leg lock threat because the ankle or the heel is no longer exposed. The other thing I can do is generate base and look to withdraw my knee. So this is much more prevalent when it comes to heel hook defense. The ankle lock can still be difficult to extract our leg, but what I'm going to look to do is from here, as I start to turn, I'm going to look to bring my foot up and put it against my opponent's butt for base and to frame them so that they can't follow me. If I just post my foot on the mat out here and I try and pull, Kevin comes with me. What I want to do is turn and put my foot up against Kevin's butt so that now as I start to drive and push, he stays in one place and I extract my knee. Keep in mind, depending on the skill of your opponent and the size, we might have to be making sure that we're getting rid of that control of the hip first as we're doing this. But it's very difficult for them to control and shut down our hip mobility completely here. I'm looking to dip my knee out. Right now it's inside. I'm not looking to go like this, turning and keeping my knee in. Because now, see how his thigh is still up against my knee? It's stopping the rotation. If he starts really cranking on this ankle lock here or going completely belly down, I'm done. If he switches to a heel hook, my knee is still blocked against his hip. And so now as he starts applying the heel hook, I'm done. However, if I can dip my knee from here to inside here, now as he tries to continue to apply any submission, I can keep extracting this knee and rotate completely free. One more time. Here, I peel the foot off, I turn onto my side, and now I'm going to look to take this knee and dip it through. Because I've separated his legs, he no longer can squeeze my knee in place like he could here. If he squeezes it here, yeah, it's going to be difficult. He follows it wherever it goes. But by separating his legs, squeeze your legs, Kevin, dipping it through, turning myself. From here, I look to extract against heel hooks. That's easy. If he's keeping a tight ankle lock grip, overhooking completely there. It's a really well-designed grip to stop me from pulling straight out. So I'm just going to look to keep circling around, extracting my leg out, facing him. We're clearing our hip, creating mobility, and then we're taking away the control of the knee, which then also takes away the control of the lever. So the weak side is a weak side for a reason. It's much easier to defend. It's more of a threat when it comes to the heel hooks, but it's still something that we need to be mindful of, and the same concepts apply.